That's right. We're into Stewart Island Discs for another week, and we have a wonderful guest today. We'll be contacting very shortly. His name is Al Brown. He's a leading New Zealand chef and restaurateur, a great businessman too, though, and he's had a lot of commercial success outside the restaurant walls. A real entrepreneur, you'd say. I mean, he's an author. Of course, some Wellingtonians will remember his award-winning restaurant Logan Brown, and then he moved north to Auckland, and in 2011 he opened Depot, which is one of my favourite restaurants in the entire country. It was very different. It's won Restaurant of the Year a lot, and it still is a hustling, bustling place and a go-to for Aucklanders and visitors to that city. And then Al Brown opened up Federal Delicatessen in 2013, bit of a take on old school Jewish delicatessens from New York. And it is wonderful, this place, a terrific place. The booths, the staff, I think he has incredible staff, and they do make you feel very welcome. Apart from all this, he created Best Ugly Bagels, which are the best bagels in the world, I would have to say. You can get these, Best Ugly has 8 branches in Auckland and Wellington. A few other outlets around New Zealand. Wish we had them in Queenstown. And, you know, Al's been on TV a bit too. You will have seen him on Hunger for the Wild. He was in Coasters, Get Fresh, Dishing Up Australia, Master Chef. And he's written some great books too. Go Fish is one that stands out. Stoked, Cooking with Fire, and Eat Up New Zealand, lots of other things. He also creates his own products. I mean, he's a bit of a high achiever, Al Brown, so you can get his... And there's always a sense of quirk and fun with him, I think. So he's got a mustard that he makes called Old Yeller, Simply Red Kasundi ketchup, Good Joe coffee and drinking chocolate, Al Brown meat patties and meatballs, I'm getting so hungry, slider buns and infused olive oils. Isn't it good to talk food on Friday about this time? Maybe not so much for Shane, the producer, and myself, as we have not had lunch yet. And unfortunately, the boiled egg, which I had hoped to devour during the news just gone, was actually a raw egg that I brought from home. So as I went to crack it open, well, you can guess what happened. Yeah, I got egg on my face. So I'm definitely not going to be eating a raw egg for lunch. So we're going to talk food with Al, and we're going to talk music as well, because he's chosen 5 songs for Stewart Island Discs. Some beauties in there, some songs you will know, maybe a couple that you won't. I meant to mention also that Al Brown has launched his own Tipping Point wines. So he's produced 6 varietals of wine, including an award-winning rosé. So boy, oh boy, he's been a busy guy, but he really feels like one of us, Al, and he has mentioned in the past that New Zealanders don't want fussy, and I think he encapsulates that brilliantly with the way he cooks and the sort of restaurants and food that he promotes. So we're just waiting to have a wee chat with Al Brown now for Stewart Island Discs. And so why don't we just play his first song right now, Sugar Mountain, which is a beautiful song, and then we'll have Al straight after that, Neil Young. Here's the first Stewart Island Discs for today. What a great first choice.
Are we similar age?
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. I'm probably even older than you. Probably, though. Late 50s?
Late 50s, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, we're in that category. So you'd probably relate to that then, I guess. I
love Neil.
Yeah, it's very hard. Now he's off Spotify. Makes it all terribly hard. But, that song just reminds me of boarding school, actually, when first heard Neil Young and the sort of the harmonica and the lyrics and the sort of poetry of music or folk music. I'm a bit of a melancholy guy. All my stuff's pretty mellow yellow.
I noticed. I'm actually surprised to find that out about you, because you always seem so jovial and kind of relaxed, and but I guess this is why this segment's quite interesting, because it reveals sides to people's characters. Why do you think that is? Do you think the best songs are the more melancholy ones?
I don't know. It just feels like life's, it's all about ups and downs, and so the I don't know, the great the great artists who write, and it's just I think you can sort of connect with so many of the lyrics, or take yourself places with them. And I don't know, I've always been pretty. I look pretty relaxed, pretty laid back, but I really love listening to folk music or wonderful. Dylan's another massive fan of Dylan, and a few others that we're going to listen to anyway.
That's right. Now tell me, you're in Whananaki right now. I've got to ask, what are you doing there?
I got it. My daughter's up from Wellington from varsity holidays, so we shot up last night, and my other daughter Alice is coming up tomorrow. So the three of us are going to have this nice little weekend away.
That sounds
lovely. Been for a big walk today. Yeah, it's gorgeous up here at this time. Oh, well, it's gorgeous the whole time, but it's just no one around, and went for a massive walk today, and really lovely, beautiful bush everywhere, and the sea's calm, and it's offshore, and it's not that cold, so it's lovely.
That's quite a nice day.
Yeah, it is quite a nice day. What's it like in Wellies?
Oh, well, I'm actually broadcasting from Gibbston Valley, Al. I broadcast from Queenstown in a studio above the winery. How's that?
Well, I saw the call came in from Wellies, so I thought, you must be there, but you're down in Gibbston. Oh,
yeah, no,
down there.
No, you would have actually seen that. It's just the way our phone system works. So we've got studios in Auckland, Wellington, and Gibbston, and actually 6 hours of the programming comes out of this studio at Gibbston Winery. So and the weather is it is cool, and it's nice. It's really nice to drive out to Gibbston every day, and it's a pretty nice day. You probably want to be up the mountain if you were here today. Although we haven't had as much sun as I would have liked lately. It's been we've had a lot of snow, which is great, and so I'm hoping for sort of nice settled conditions on the weekend. But it's a pretty good day. But there's nothing to beat like the warmth. You miss the warmth this time of year in Queenstown. I mean, you'll be familiar.
I was down there a couple of weeks ago, just before that big dump that you had, and it just always blows my mind how this country is so small and yet it's so diverse. And people talk to you about where do you want to end up or where do you want to live, and the choices are just extraordinary, really. It's really hard because, we all sort of, we have our special places, but we covered so many other places in the country as well. It's super to be down your neck of the woods as well.
Yeah. And, of course, the food varies so much too. Like, I mean, where you are this weekend, what sort of stuff are you wanting to be eating? Get my taste buds going because I'm really starving right now.
Well, funnily enough, I've just been... I've learned this dish off a friend in New York who has she's American, and but she has a Asian restaurant in Brooklyn, and we went across to it, and we had this dish called what she calls mock eel, and I asked her about it, and we ate it. It was delicious, and the Chinese, especially the peasants and things, when times were tough, they couldn't afford protein, so they use lots of vegetables to mimic protein. And so mock eel, and we're doing it for tonight actually, is you get dried shiitake mushrooms and you rehydrate them in water, leave them soaking overnight, and then you get your scissors and you cut round and round and round to the stem of the mushroom so it looks like a long eel. A long thin eel, and then you deep fry those with a little bit of corn flour on them, and then toss them through a sort of soy and hoisin and ginger and garlic and chili, and we're having that. And I haven't cooked it. Well, it's in my eat up book, but we're having that tonight, so it should be pretty good.
That sounds incredible. It sounds like a whole bunch of like a flavour sensation.
Yeah, it is. It's really good, actually. Yeah, like shiitake mushroom, dried shiitakes, they actually fry up really well, so they're good.
Yeah, super nice. You've always what I like about you is like you kind of, and people say this about you, that you are very approachable, and you seem to relate to what Kiwis want to eat. Like, I mean, look how successful Best Ugly Bagels have been, and Depot and Fed Deli are my two favourites. I just love both of those for different reasons. Are they cranking along at a great rate at the moment?
Oh, look, they're heading in the right direction, Leanne, that's for sure. We dug ourselves a pretty deep hole this year to begin with, when Omicron hit, etc. But it's still pretty bumpy. We're just, like nearly every industry, we're just struggling for staff. So it's, kind of like having a team, but no one sitting on the bench. So as soon as you have an injury or a couple of people get sick, it's pretty dire. So we sort of we're operating all sorts of 2 weeks ago depot was closed for lunches. We could do dinners only, and then now we're not doing Sunday night. So it's hard to get any sort of real
momentum.
Flow. But people are coming out. Yeah, momentum. People are coming out, and the ones that are coming out, they're really enjoying it, and they kind of. I think we all really need to understand everyone's industries that that are hurting for staff and things that everyone's trying their hardest, but it's difficult, but we're, as I say, heading in the right direction.
It's funny, I kind of didn't imagine that happening in Auckland. I don't know why. I naively thought that, I guess living in Queenstown, it's such a bubble, but everywhere here, that's the main gripe is staff shortages. And it's not unusual to see a sign on a cafe saying, please bear with us. We have so many people off. We can only open for this amount of time, and, we're doing our best. And actually, your heart breaks for people in hospo at the moment. It's really tough.
Yeah. Oh, look, it has been tough, but I'm pretty philosophical. We're coming out of it, and it's been a bit shit, but we've had lots of great years too. Leading up to that, and hopefully those life will take a couple of knocks on the chin here and there, and I think I'm hoping that it's going to come back better and stronger, and tourism will come back, and it'll be something, in the rear vision mirror that we go, oh, remember that bloody,
that time? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that a good time? Well,
yeah.
wasn't it great? Gee, wish we could go back.
Yeah.
So Indigo Girls is your next choice. Tell us a little bit why you chose the song, Al. I just adore the Indigo Girls, and I was introduced. I was introduced to them by. She was a girlfriend actually, called Shannon McQuillan, and you're naming her too. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she's up in Canada, but funnily enough, and she introduced me to that when I was tree planting on my OE up in Canada. She lived in Kamloops, and I met her after we'd finished tree planting, and then I lived down in San Diego for 1 week, and she used to come down a bit, and she introduced me to these guys, and I've just loved them ever since, and just everything, all their lyrics, and and they're amazing in a whole lot of ways. My daughter's gay, and that was her first, and when she heard that that these two, that they were from a lesbian community, the gay community, it's kind of like, and now she adores them as well. And I'm not saying it's just for that, but they're just incredibly, wonderful lyrics, and again quite melancholy, and it kind of just reminds me of those freedom years in the 20s, when you were travelling and you didn't have a worry in the world, and funnily enough that. This whole social media and how small the world is and things now. We actually FaceTimed each other about 4 weeks ago for the first time in about 20 or 30 years. And, she's married and got a couple of children. And but isn't it funny when you have these amazing relationships that, you can just go straight back. It was just like we were talking yesterday when we hooked up again. I think that's what's great about wonderful friendships is you don't need to worry about how long the distance or the time is between catch-ups. And so now I'm sort of saying, well, you've got to bring the family out. You've got to come out and I'll show you a bit of NZ. But, that's why the Indigo Girls.
Yeah, well, very personal reasons and very, very good reasons too. So let's hear Watershed now, Al Brown's second choice. Lovely song.
Yeah, they're amazing. I don't think many. I don't know. The more I think I have. I don't know many people in New Zealand that listen to the Indigo Girls, to be honest. But they didn't really have any massive big hits, but they've got a massive following, I think. in North America for sure.
Yeah. Al, I've got to tell you a funny story because, like, I was moaning before we talked to you about the fact that I brought a boiled egg for lunch, what I thought was a boiled egg, and that's all I had, and I was starving. And I cracked it before, and it actually was raw. And so before I was about to talk to you, so that was going to be my lunch, and I said I was hungry. You won't believe what's happened.
No.
So a listener from Rātoki, not far from where I come from, Whakatane, her name's Lisa. Do you know what she did? She rang up the producer. No. She's ordered me lunch from Gibbston Valley, some chips and a salad and a glass of wine, and she's paid for the thing. Can you believe that? That blows my mind.
That is just bloody gold. Isn't that lovely that those sorts of people are still around and doing those sorts of kind, thoughtful acts?
It actually makes me tearful.
Yeah, it fills my heart with joy. I mean, that's the thing about this freaking pandemic. The one thing I have enjoyed about it is the finger pointing and when did aroha and respect and dignity and empathy and stuff leave the building.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear, it's lovely to hear those sorts
it's
of
just
things,
arrived.
Those random acts of kindness.
It's just arrived, Al. Oh, look, these look great. These aren't just normal chips, and they're lovely salad with radish and, yum, that looks... Lisa from Rātoki, honestly, unbelievable.
We love Lisa.
Yeah, we do, and I wish you were here, Al, because I reckon you'd kind of rate these chips, actually. They're kind of wedgy and rustic looking, the type that you love.
Good.
How cool is that?
Best ugly.
Best, yeah. Almost as good as the best ugly bagel. So, Lisa, it's amazing. But getting back, so really great to have someone like you on the show, Al Brown, and I know you've interrupted a little break with the family, so that's pretty nice of you to do that, and we're in danger of talking too much. But I do read that you're a dog lover, you're quite partial to a bit of tennis, and of course we know you love fishing. Would that be a correct summary of your loves in your life?
Yeah, I adore dogs. Pretty hopeless at tennis, but love it.
Same.
And I actually so when I was with Connie this morning walking, I don't know, we got onto tennis. Oh, we're talking about team sports or about individual pursuits are fine and great, and when you win that way. But I said, if you think about tennis, when you win by yourself in singles, that's cool. But when you win in doubles, it's way more fun.
It is really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, just being able to share, I think, be able to share the spoils or the bragging rights or any team. I love, and I think that's why I'm drawn to the restaurant industry. It's such a team game, front and back of house. Mm. And when you have a great night, there's a satisfaction of not just individually, but as a group, for sure.
That's right. Well, we are going to run short on time if I don't play some more songs. So I know you've chosen Night Swimming next, REM. This is one of my favourites, actually. It's quite mournful, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And again, it reminds, all these, I should stop talking, but, when I got the call from, was it Ruby yesterday to say that I want to do this, and then took up the next 4 hours of Connie and I working out what we were going to do and why. And,
it's dreadful, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's so many great songs out there. So it's a really amazing sort of thing to try and narrow it down to 4 or 5. So, yeah, Night Swimming, unbelievable song. I think everyone loves the song.
Elle, I've got the tissues.
Yeah, it is a tearjerker, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
That vulnerability, and it's pretty cool. I love that song.
It's very, very moving. Actually, it's my partner Phil Smith's one of his favourites too. I think it's that melody, isn't it? It's the keyboard, and it takes you. It kind of takes you on a little journey, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. Puts you in places. Some songs I think, of course, really transport you back to moments, and really, it's kind of like. I sort of think that, it's like people and place, when you talk about food memories, the dishes that you'll remember or the eating experiences or the particular dishes you ate will always have one or two things in common, and that is either who you were with at the time or, if you're lucky, who you were with and where you were. And if those things are, that's people and place, and then that's, you may, it's the best white bait fritter ever because of those those things, who you were with and where you were. You know, you get served the same dish somewhere else, you know, and you've had an argument or you've had a bad day, and you eat exactly the same dish. It won't have any of the same, same effect. And I think songs are a bit like that as well.
Yeah, very much, aren't they? Well, Al, you're a wine man too, and I can't believe it. Lisa from Ruatoki has not only got us lunch, but she's ordered me a beautiful glass of wine, for goodness sakes. I'm actually quite overwhelmed. But you of course have had success with your wine tipping point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I have. You know, that's been a really fun project. Actually, I've waited all my life to. Well, I've been practicing all my life, of course, by imbibing, and you know, I adore wine. I'm not a beer guy at all. I hardly ever drink beer, but I adore wine. I've got lots of friends in the wine industry, and when Constellation Brands, you know, who are obviously a really big international, came to me and said, you know, would you be interested in you know, helping out and creating a brand around some wines? I was like, oh my God, of course, I'd love to do that. And they've been fantastic, and you know, and it's all I'm trying to do with wine all the time, or all, you know, my whole, I guess, I don't even like saying my brand, but you know, it's all about championing informality, and I find that's what I'm trying to do, is take away formality all the time, and so hence, you know, a different shaped bottle and a charity involved in each, and you know, a bit of a sense of humour around it, and you know, it's kind of like you hand someone a wine list in a restaurant. It's like, here, have some anxiety for 10 minutes. I mean, I don't know why we all, you know, we get so wound up about all the, you know, pronunciation and how you do it. But most people just want to, you know, screw the cap and the fun will come, you know. But I'm really proud of what we've put together, and the wine is, and obviously, you know, I didn't make the wine, but I got to blend. You know, that's what I can offer, I guess, my palate, and to work with people and learn more about the industry and put something together that people enjoy is, it's just part of it all. It's been a real fun project.
Yeah, good on you. And of course, you introduced a different style of serving. Is it at Depot, I think, with Duncan Forsyth's wine, Mount Edward, didn't you? Which was quite novel in the day.
Yeah, I think we were the first to put it on tap. And you know, I rang Duncan before we opened Depot and said, how about it? You know, because what I was trying to do with Depot, and it sounds blasphemy, but I was trying to, again, thinking about our food memories, and you know, all of mine. My favourite ones, of course, were in informal situations like campgrounds and batches, or what do you call them down there, cribs or maraes, or, you know, places that, you know, anonymity reigns supreme, and people don't really care what you do; they just care about who you are. And you know, if there's no glasses left, you drink it out of a plastic cup, and so I tried to sort of, I guess, commercialise that feeling, and that's what Depot's about, is kind of, just everything,
non-fussy,
you know,
non-pretentious,
non-fussy, and and it's, you know, it's black, white, gay, straight, fat, skinny, rich, poor. It doesn't matter. Everyone comes, everyone's here. You know, come on and Duncan, you know, and I'm sure you know Duncan. You know, and he was he just said yes immediately. You know, so I've got a lot to thank Duncan for, that's for sure.
Yeah,
so,
he's been on the show a few times, and he's always interesting. In fact, he did the segment, and he said the same. 5 songs, I can't do that. I can't limit it. But your next track is one. Look, I have to say this will be new to me. Long Lonely Road, Valerie Jones. Who is she? What's this all about?
Well, actually, this is another sad. I was introduced to her, actually. This was put together with a video when Nick Wallace died, and Nick and Matt Wallace, both from Wanaka, who tragically died in those helicopter separate accidents. They were both very good. Well, the whole family's very close. I've done lots with them. And this song was put together, and I actually lost another friend around the same time as well, Simon Dickey, in another accident, and I you know, this song, it's for me when I hear it, and she's got such a unique voice, and it just reminds me of people that have passed and left too early, and I think, you know, music again, those sorts of things, it's when you hear a song and you immediately click into thinking about people who have had, amazing effect on your life and have left the world. It's for me, I find it quite spiritual in a sense of, it just zooms you straight back to thinking about these people and it feels good that they're in your thoughts. So, and I've gone, and when I first heard this, and I don't know who put it together with the video, it was put as a soundtrack to a sort of compilation of Nick flying, and it just really hit home. And then I've just started listening to her. I think she's from from the South in the States, Tennessee, something like that.
Oh, great!
Super unique voice. Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy this then. No, I will. So I think we should take long lonely road. You go take a little head break, Al, and we'll be right back. Here's Valerie Jones. Yeah, the distinctive voice of Valerie Jones, Long Lonely Road, the choice of Al Brown for Stewart Island Discs. That was a good choice, Al. I can see why you like her.
Yeah, she's amazing, actually. It's just such a unique voice, and she's pretty folky and cool. I love her lyrics too.
But a really unusual sound to her voice. Yeah.
Once you hear it, you can pick it up whenever you hear it. When another of her songs come on, you can identify with her pretty quickly.
So we talked about your love of dogs. Have you still got your terrier, Sir Ed?
Yep.
Or Jack
Sir
Russell,
Ed.
Was he? Jack Russell, did I say?
Well, we had a Jack Russell and a Foxy as well, but Jenny May, who we adopted, she was our first terrier. She's left the world, but Sir Ed is, I think he's 13 now, but and he's had a pretty rough. He's got pins and plates in his neck when he was old, when he was a bit younger, by a car, but we saved him, and but he's getting a little slower on the hoof now, but still a great, wonderful friend.
Can he still go out on a daily walk with you, Al?
Yeah, he gets, but doesn't go as far as it used to, that's for sure. But that's still, well, he just gets so attached to them, that's the thing. But,
it's horrible when they get old. Like, we lost a 13-year-old huntaway last year, and he was my father's, and that's the only thing about dogs is like, and so it was like losing Dad twice. It was really, really hideous because I took him on when Dad passed away, but it is hard because I'm like you, like I don't think I could live without a dog, and yet I just don't know if I can do another heartache with losing another one,
Yeah, well, times, sometimes a great healer. I mean, I don't, it's none of us get out alive. No problem.
True.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think I'll always, again, it's like, I mean, I don't want to keep bringing the show down, but it's, it's about remembering these, and remembering those times, and and that they've had an amazing life, and they've been loved, and they've been, and they've been fortunate to be in your family, and just all those wonderful things, and and they all have different personalities, and but they are, I love animals.
They all leave different marks on your heart, don't they? They all add to the person that you are, and each one's so different, which is also brilliant.
Yeah, that's right.
We're getting up to your last song because I cannot believe that it's 6 minutes to 3 o'clock now, and producer's pretty happy that you've chosen this one. He's a massive Dylan fan. You've chosen Bob Dylan, Boots of Spanish Leather. So tell me why this is important to you.
Well, it's just I had to have a Dylan, and I had to have a Neil Young in there as well. And, this is just probably, it's hard again, splitting heads with so many songs. But this one, again, I just think such a beautiful lyrics and beautiful melody and romance and people leaving and thinking about people when they're gone and all those.
I never expected this from you, Al Brown. I never did.
Anyone listening to this show anymore, it's like they've all turned it off. So depressing.
I think we've managed to bring down an entire nation in 1 hour, but in the most beautiful way, in the most exquisitely. No, I'm so surprised and astonished by. I mean, I knew that you were a spiritual kind of guy, but yeah, I've really loved the points that you made through the last hour. And I suppose we have to roll this song now, actually, because here it comes. Let's try and do this again sometime, Al, because I've loved it and it hasn't been long enough. Can we do it? Can we talk again? Shall we do that?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it so much. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Al Brown, and here's his last song, Boots of Spanish Leather.